coming through on this, okay?
Are you gonna heckle us in a while?
Yeah, she's gonna. Yeah, that's your input.
Can you heckle us in like a really strong Yorkshire accent? Like something higher, you know?
Yorkshire.
Hey, Pokey!
Well, that's like some sort of children's character, television show, I think.
Yeah.
Like a finger puppet. Pokey LaFarge. Where does that nickname come from?
Pokey's is an old nickname from back in the day when I was a kid. You know, Pokey's is a.
It's a good name. It's a strong nickname. It's got a lot of character. It's got a lot of characters.
It means something different in every place. You know?
Yeah.
It's basically short. It's short for slowpoke.
Slowpoke, right? I see. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Right, it really does bring me great pleasure to say that I'm sat here at the Brudenell Leeds Social Club with Pokey LaFarge, all the way from Illinois, or St. Louis to Leeds, shall we say.
Yeah, St. Louis to Leeds, but you know, I haven't even been home in St. Louis for a couple months. So.
Right.
So you might even want to say from the Netherlands because I'm fresh off a holiday.
Well, you get quite a response over there, don't you? I bet you're looking forward to them shows.
We do well, and yeah, in a country that is that small.
Well, I mean, you've got a live album
shows.
that you recorded over there as well.
It's true, from about 4 years ago, yeah.
But you're on tour at the moment over here, sort of promoting, if you will, your new record, Something in the Water, which I very kindly got sent a copy of, and I've not had it off since. So the shows have sold out over here, bar one in Oxford. I mean, that's a fantastic response. I mean, do you usually get quite a warm response in the United Kingdom?
Yes, we have got quite a good response from the United Kingdom ever since we first started coming over here. Obviously, there's it's gotten better.
Yeah.
Certainly not just because of us. We've had tremendous opportunities over here. We've created it hopefully with the hard work. You know, with a little bit of luck comes along with the hard work. Hopefully, but the Jules Holland was a big thing for us, obviously, and. Yeah, Bob Harris seems to enjoy us and different things like that.
Yeah,
but the fans are just lovely.
Fantastic, good to hear. So you have a nice warm welcome here.
Yeah.
You brought the rain with you, but we'll forgive you for that.
Oh right, yeah. I'm bringing the rain to Leeds.
Yeah,
sure.
that's. But what was I going to say there?
It has been a sunny couple of days here, though.
Yes, it has. It has. Right. So when you think about how you've approached this record in comparison to maybe past records that you've released, what's been different this time round? Maybe thinking about the musicians that you've worked with and the way you've approached it.
Well, we had a few themes that we were working with, two major themes that we wanted to work with. It's certainly not at the beginning, you know. It was an experimental time very much at the beginning. Just throwing a lot of songs out there with a few of the core musicians. With that being said, the core was the rhythm, the drums and the bass.
That comes across.
If you listen, to the previous records, there wasn't such heavy drums at all. On top of that was the harmonies, you know, the 3 and 4 part harmonies on the top to sort of accentuate the melody and also my own singing. So those are the two major thematic additions, if you will.
Yeah. All those things do shine through very predominantly on the record, I must say. So you've done your job well.
Great, thanks.
So you are quite a well-travelled musician. You've been about all over the place playing shows. You've done a lot of festivals in the States. And would you say that sort of moving around and visiting new places contributes to the music you write and keeps you on your toes creatively, or?
Yes, I would say quite literally.
Right.
If you look at a song that I recorded from this most recent album called Goodbye Barcelona.
Fantastic song.
I went to Spain for the first time and was stimulated and thus inspired enough to compose a song quite naturally, almost just stream of conscious, just finished kind of as is.
Right.
Sometimes the best songs come out that way.
Right.
You know, okay. Other songs are a battle. But kind of like songwriting is sort of like an abusive relationship.
Right.
You know, there's days and sometimes weeks on end where you just can't stand it and you just want to rip your hair out.
Right.
And other times it's just like it's love. Yes, but I would say that the inspiration of traveling, the stimulation in general, it's buried in my subconscious. All the different things you see and hear, you can't consciously comprehend everything that's going on at all times and recite all the little memories that you have.
Right, okay.
But I'd like to think that it comes out because everything you are as a person everything you experience comes out in your music.
It does, yeah. Destination seems to be another theme that runs throughout a lot of your records, and my favourite song on the album thus far is Cairo, Illinois. And there's something about it. Makes my hair stand on end. You see, he's got me down to a T. But no, it's a fantastic song, and I was wondering how that song came about. Is that a place close to where you lived, or what is that destination? How did you?
Cairo's not too far away. It's about 5 hours south of where I grew up.
Right.
But I grew up in a pretty big state, so it's about 7 or 8 hours to drive from the top of the line.
Wow, it's practically England.
Yeah, pretty much. Cairo is in an area of Illinois called Little Egypt.
Right.
Because if you notice, I think it's in Egypt, like the Nile, where the Tigris and Euphrates come together.
Yes, yeah.
Kind of the same thing. You have the Ohio River and the Mississippi River come together at the bottom of Illinois, hence the name Cairo.
Yeah.
And sort of
I'm very interested in geography, and I didn't know about that. That's a really nice little bit of information.
Yes, and it's also below I-64. Everything down there is Little Egypt, and it's basically the South. Actually, that area, even before the interstate was there, was very much Southern and actually wanted to secede from the Union.
Right, okay.
And voted predominantly against Lincoln in the mid-19th century. Anyways, so it's a ghost town. It was popular in the river trade, but the railroad pretty much put it into...
So it's in quite a destination. It's right on
but there's
the
an
veins of the
interstate
country
that still goes through there.
Right. Okay.
You literally drive through it. You never really stop. But I was hitchhiking through, and I was kind of stuck in town there on the Mississippi River Bridge, and I was inspired enough to write the chorus, and the rest sort of came later. That's actually a song that I wrote quite a number of years ago.
Well, it's a brilliant song, and I think thanks for featuring it on the album. Yes. And I'm just going to comment really briefly. I wasn't planning on, but you are one of the most stylish musicians, dare I say. Your wardrobe is fantastic, and I mean that doesn't sound like the sort of thing you'd discuss with someone like yourself. Where do you get some of your clothes from? Because you've got quite a good collection of items.
Yeah, I do appreciate...
Have you thought about your look at all, or did it just come?
Well, certainly, my mom doesn't dress me every morning, so
that's a good answer.
It's just another way to express yourself.
It
certainly says something about you. Ever since I was a young boy, I was looking at going to thrift shops and buying old clothes and things like that, and certainly just developed a deeper appreciation, just like with the music, where I found certain things and just started digging my way back. I used to wear a lot more vintage clothes, but thankfully there's a lot more people
remaking the old styles.
In the UK, there's a lot, and in Europe, and especially in the States. Of course, I know more of that because I live there. People making things, handmade goods of all kinds. American-made clothing it's something that I support, but I also support British-made, European-made. I just support anything that's not made... High quality,
not mass-produced.
But mass-produced because it's not made in a sweatshop. It's made ethically.
Yeah, and that's something that's actually becoming quite popular in Leeds, between people of our sort of age group.
Yes, you actually have a really good tailor here that somebody told me about today, and I can't... I was on the way out of the hotel and I forgot. I wanted to give him a name drop.
Oh, man.
But apparently he's successful enough that somebody from Manchester knew him, so I'm sure he's doing fine with business. So I wear a lot of things that are made today. But also I have a goal to make workwear or handmade goods of high quality synonymous with affordability.
Right.
And that's not necessarily the case now.
Yeah. That is
so
very
they call
true.
it workwear, but it's $200-300.
Yes, for a pair of overalls.
Overalls. It's like it shouldn't be that way.
It is often
so
the
hopefully
case.
the
market
demand
will bring it down.
Yeah, the demand will increase. Therefore, the supply can maybe increase and the price can go down. I don't know.
I wasn't. Again, this is something else that I wasn't planning on talking about, but I feel like sort of asking a little bit about it. So obviously, you're interested in the revival of some of these old traditional. We're talking about clothes now, but traditional methods of making music, listening to music as well. You did have some involvement with Third Man Records at one point, and would you say that was a record label that sort of suited you and suited your way of approaching making a record and releasing a record as well?
Yes, a record label that definitely represents my
My
eccentricities, if you will. But it's all about culture. I mean, these things represent our culture the most, and I think can bring us together. Music, farming, clothes, beer, food, architecture, and people our age
creativity.
are getting that stuff back together, and they're it's about sustainability as well.
Yeah.
And so sustainability of our culture, things that we can express ourselves with.
Right.
To say that we don't have to go to a department store or some big chain to get what it is that we want. We
Yeah.
can make it ourselves. I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's all. I find that that's happening all across the world, and I think it's deeper. People ask me, "What's with the music? Everybody's playing the music," but it's like you got to. If you look further, it's happening on all different social levels.
No, that's a very fair point there. Thanks. So is this something that sort of came to you later on, or have you always been interested in the history of your of your country in terms of all things, in terms of style, music?
I'm interested in the history
ethos.
of the world.
Well, that's what I was going to say. You seem like a very, instantly you come across as a very well-read, well-travelled, intelligent person, which is refreshing. Is it something that you were always interested in? Were you always interested in the history of things and looking back and learning?
Well, I mean, I certainly can go and flap my gums a lot about the things that I've seen and the things that I think I know, but there's a hell of a lot more that I don't know than I do know. So, still trying
that's a very modest answer.
Still trying to stay humble and still trying to stay open-minded to the things that I can experience. At the same time, I'm somewhat of a hedonist. I mean, I like to experience the good things in life, and I want to experience it all. So, hopefully, I stay alive long enough to do it.
That's a really nice answer there. Thank you. And I'll ask as well. I mean, it's quite a cliche topic, but I am genuinely interested to sort of maybe discuss a little bit about your musical upbringing. I mean, were you surrounded by music and instruments as a child? Was it something that was brought to you quite young, or did you again discover this for yourself?
More or less discovered it for myself. I had an initial exposure to it at a younger age from my grandfather, who took me to bluegrass festivals and bought me my first guitar.
Wow.
But I had good friends around me that were also hungry and searching for knowledge.
Yeah.
And some older people, just friends, friends' parents and things that just took it and ran with it.
You mentioned there that you were around people that were hungry for knowledge, and I'll just chip in and say that it's a hard thing to come across here in Leeds. I mean, it's a shame. There's a lot of people in the youth over here that don't seem hungry for knowledge and seem very complacent with things, and it's nice to hear you say that you were around those people. I think it's important to be around people that are open-minded.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, I certainly think that complacency is an evil thing. I think most people are naturally curious, but I don't worry about the curiosity. I know that I have an overwhelming amount of curiosity, and that's what still spurns me forward for the most part.
Right.
I don't know what it was. I mean, I was pretty discouraged at a young age, but I always felt something in me to keep going forward. I wonder what it is with other people that they just need to be motivated, and I don't know. I'm not a teacher, so I don't know what I can do to motivate people.
Right.
And I tried to say things in the past, but I almost feel like the only thing you can do is live by example and hope people come along. I don't know. I know some very dear people in my life that have very much a lot to offer this world, and they just haven't put themselves forward in the position to offer it up even. I don't know.
Right. Well, that's a really interesting answer, as all of your answers have been so far. But bringing it back to the tour at the moment, what are you looking for from sort of the night as a whole, from yourself, from your band, from the crowd, to make a night successful to you? Because I mean, obviously, you put a lot of time and effort into the set. You put a lot of time and effort into the songs. What do you want in order for it to be successful? What are you looking for?
I want to perform well.
Right.
Number one.
So the main route of satisfaction comes from your performance.
Well, yeah, because if I'm not enjoying my performance, then people aren't going to enjoy it to the fullest extent that they can.
Right.
I have to take responsibility for that and be accountable for what I do or what I don't do. I have to get that feeling like when I'm singing that it's all coming together. Yeah. Anything less than that is sometimes not enough. But even when that happens, you have to,
grit your teeth,
have a good time, and you have to, you make people, make people feel good. You know, let them. They're coming to you for a show. They're paying money to see you, so they deserve a show.
Right. Fantastic. Is the live performance an element of it, of being a musician? Is it a big part of it for you? I mean, obviously, in the modern day, it has to be. But do you enjoy that just as much as writing and recording?
Depends on the day.
Depends on the day, right? That's a good
Sometimes
response.
you're on the road and you just want to go home and write.
Right.
But then sometimes you're at home and you're writing like, Jesus, I just want to get on the road. Or
That's what people often say. I mean, we were talking about Alinda of Hooray for the Riff Raff. That's exactly what she said when she came
once
on
you
the
get
show.
that bug, you can't escape it. It's like a heroin addict. You're constantly
Itching and
you can always
restless
find the
feet.
musicians by the ones standing, pacing around.
Right. Okay.
You know, touring ones anyway. But other times, yeah, you just want to go in the studio and write, record, and sometimes you're there too long and you just want to get out. And it's two sides of you.
Yeah, it is two sides. Well, listen, Pokey, thanks ever so much for taking the time to do that. Really do appreciate it. It seems almost surreal to have you here at Leeds Brudenell Working Men's Club, but have a fantastic show and thoroughly enjoy the rest of your tour.
This is a great place for us. I'm happy that Leeds has this place, the Working Men's Club, with the title, literally and figuratively, what it stands for in the city is very important. It's cool.
Well, thanks ever so much.